So the question is, how can you benefit from this as opposed to being left in the wake of these economic changes that, again, come and go, and they happen quite often. So as investors, we actually have an advantage because we are able to turn these things into something that works in our favor. Rentals are a great opportunity to do that. And we'll definitely go in depth about that because, as Laura said, we have a lot of experience in rentals personally. And so this evening, we'll focus also on what makes sense because rentals is a very broad term. However, there are several types of rental strategies you can use. So which ones make sense? For example, there are people that will have Airbnbs, will have midterm rentals, will have long-term rentals. There's a lot of confusion around this for people, and people feel like, oh, if I want to have an Airbnb, there's only one strategy I can use. That's not true. And we're going to dispel all these myths for you so you have a clear idea of what would work for you. Many of us, for example, I can talk for myself, I use different strategies depending on what I'm trying to achieve. That's the beauty of having the ability to do different things, which is what we are going to share with you. So I'm excited about this. Yeah, I can't wait to get started.
You don't have to do anything crazy or extravagant to build $5,000-$10,000 a month income. That's very, very doable. Maria, why don't you share Letitia's story?
Sure, yeah. So Leticia is someone that I helped basically start and scale her real estate portfolio, her rental portfolio. And she started just a few years ago. I want to say maybe it was 3 or 4 years ago. I forgot, maybe 5. Anyway, and she was new and she didn't have money. That she wasn't even working at the time. Her husband was basically paying the bills, and so she really didn't know how to get this started. And what she did have, though, in her case, she had she could take an equity line of credit out of her house, and that's what she did. And she bought her first rental, and then basically, and I helped her, decide what area worked, the numbers, et cetera, et cetera. And when she did that, then she refinanced, and basically she never had to take money out of their own pocket anymore. And she used her refis to build her portfolio. Now she has 7 properties. And the last time I spoke with her, which was just, I want to say a week or 2 ago, she was telling me that she was refinancing the last property she purchased. And she is making over $3,000 a month right now. The fact is, I know for a fact that a lot of people think that it takes a lot of money to buy rentals. I can only buy rentals if I have a lot of money or I have good credit and I can go to the bank and get a rental. Is that true? Tell me if it's true or not. We're gonna discuss this right away. We're gonna lay it all out because I don't want this to be holding you back when it really is just a misconception.
So one of the questions I saw addressed here on the chat is for like, okay, so you call people that are renting properties and ask them if they want to sell. Yeah, kind of I did that when I started out because I had a limited. I would call all people that were renting their houses, or if they had an apartment in a little multifamily, I would call them and say, hey, I see you have your apartment for rent or your house for rent. Have you thought about maybe selling in the near future? And if they did, then I would have a conversation, see why they want to sell, understand their motivation.
It's like for someone who has solely wholesale for 10 years and talking to them and figuring out that I could have done something so much easier. And what I mean by that is wholesaling's not easy, right? Rentals, I could have passive income where I'm constantly working for wholesaling. You're constantly starting over every time a deal closes. Where rentals, you have this for life. You cash flow very well. And so you don't have to become this huge mogul real estate investor to make a lot of money and to live free, right? You can own the rentals and buy them. And that's one of the things I really realized when I was interviewing Maria and Laura was it's the smartest option to go as far as if you want real estate and you want the passive income, okay?
And how you ask, first of all, you have to let everybody know you're in real estate, okay? Claim it. Even if I say, well, I'm not, I'm still learning, I'm new. Okay, you're in real estate, right? I always say Michael Jackson, he says he's the king of pop. Says, who called him the king of pop? He did. He said, I'm king of pop, and then he was, right? So that's the thing. You have to claim it that you are a real estate investor. So make that decision if that's what you want to do.